and I'm hitting go live on Facebook. Okay. Okay, so we're starting a little bit early, but I really won't start for sure, or like for real, until 1 o'clock. We've decided it was best to continue to give ourselves a little bit time just in case that there are technical difficulties as we've had. But hey, knock on wood, we are on, let's see, what is this? The third uh, broadcast without a hitch. There's always a hitch, anyway, or a glitch, or a bump, or a what, whatever it is. But we always have one, and so hopefully this is number 3 in a row. Would be nice. Would be nice. It would mean that we're on a roll. So Andy's here with me in my ear, and hi, Linda. First on. So we're just sort of hanging out for a few minutes. If you are watching the recording, fast forward 4 minutes because I'm going to start for reals in 4 minutes. In the meantime, I'm just sort of hanging out. I'm sorry, Andy? Okay, good. So, anyway, it's hot out there. Hot, 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 hot. Oof. Humid. We still haven't started the air conditioning yet. I know, I'm making Andy suffer, but actually it was his choice. I asked him if he wanted to turn on the air conditioning this morning, and he did not. So that is on him. Absolutely, totally, for sure. Hello, Cheryl. So, anyway, like I said, we're just hanging out for another 3 minutes while I finish getting everything together. I'm pretty close, and there's not much to get together today. So we're finishing up the step-by-step over the top project. So, and for some reason, when it gets humid, it seems like my ears are popping. See if we can unpop that. For the moment, anyway. So apparently, there's a thing called YouTube live chat. Huh, very interesting. So, I guess I'm live on YouTube too. I wonder when I will know if I'm live on Periscope, but I can't seem to get into my Periscope account to verify. But you know, it tells me it's happening, so we're just going to leave it out there and see what's going on. Hi, Patty. Hi, Debbie. So another 2 minutes and we're going to start the project. We're just hanging out, making sure that all technology is working. Andy tells me my sound is good. From what I can tell, my visual seems to be good too. So we're going to move that over because that's actually my marker. It tells me where I should put my hands. Makes it sort of fun. All right, let's get positioned up here. Let's see. Does that change anything? Haha. Sort of. Maybe do it like this. Nope. Okay. Hi, Janet. Okay. Hi, Jan. Yes. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Gail. Okay, so we're going to start in 1 minute. Got my torch. The pickle is on. Got my towel here. What else are we doing? Oh, I need a saw. I guess I wasn't prepared. So, just a little bit more. Yep. Alright, bench pin maybe. So are you guys joining me for this one on Friday? This is the free Zoom that we're doing on Friday. There it is. If you don't have the link yet, just do reach out and I'll send you a link for the Zoom. Hi, Sherry. Okay, so we have electricity till Storm and possible tornado. Oh, storm and tornadoes? Really? That's crazy. Okay, well, be safe out there. Is it really 79% humidity here? Oh, maybe I won't go for a hike. We'll see. Oh, that was this morning. Well, okay. Yay. It sounds like it's only going to get worse. All right. So it is officially 1 o'clock, and I am officially on Q Talk Live and YouTube Live and Twitch and question mark Periscope. I know none of you guys are on Periscope anyway, but hey, maybe there's other people. That's what we're hoping for. Okay. So that said, so I see a note here from Janet that you can't do Friday, but you know what? There's going to be recording, so go ahead and send me your email anyway. I'm going to add it to you, or add you in the list, and go ahead and register yourself, so then I have a list of who to send the recording to, because I'm not just going to post that, like at large. It's a thing. It's a thing. Anyway, okay. So today is Wednesday. It's step-by-step surprise over the top, and this is part 2 of a 2-part step-by-step surprise. If you're new here and you haven't seen what's going on, what we're doing on Wednesdays and with a step-by-step surprise is you order a kit, you don't know what it is, you get a choice of either silver or copper. It's up to you, but it's more or less the same project, and through you don't I don't reveal anything until you receive the kit. You'll get an idea of what it is, and then through a process of 2 weeks, and we work through the project, it is revealed to you. So there's not instruction sheets that can be purchased for it unless you buy the kit. So that's why we're a little vague on the information. It keeps it a big surprise, and everyone gets to keep working. By the way, I already have a step-by-step surprise starting next week. It's called Within, and we are shipping that out already. So if you would like to participate, you can definitely order the kit for next week. But what I'm excited about, especially excited about, is that in July we have a step-by-step called Departure. Why? Because it's going to be a departure from jewelry. Something completely different. You're still going to use all the tools that you have, but it's going to be just something different. Why not? Let's see, let's see who's ready to take the plunge and jump into this, right? Okay, so that's what's happening in July. What else is happening? Oh my gosh, so yesterday I just got accepted to, so excited, to the Snow Farm up in Williamsburg, Massachusetts. It's 2 years in the making, and so they just agreed to take me on for September 2021. I know, I'm planning for 2021. I think we should. I think it's a good thing. Anyway, so it's going to be stone setting non-traditional stones, or settings non-traditional stones. Still work in progress title. So okay, that's my big news. Y'all have already heard the old news. Beadfest has been canceled for this year. So moving on from there. Other news, remember Friday we have a free a free Zoom. Okay, because I was a little behind, we threw this together. So free Zoom, we're doing enameled head pins. If you want to join us, do send me your request to be part of that on the Q Talk Messenger. Okay, so just message us directly and we will send you a link on that. If you want to watch the recording, you do need to reach out to me too, and I'll send you a link of the recording afterwards. But that is going to be on Friday. Monday, Minimal Metal Monday will be the loopy bracelet. Yes, it is definitely different from the spiral chain. You'll have fun with that. Okay, so let's jump in. Step-by-step surprise over the top today. What do you need? A bench pin would be good. Okay, maybe. You don't necessarily have to have it. A saw with a saw blade. Any size is okay, but preferably 2/0 is the standard. You should already have made something like this from last week. You should have your stone with you. Everybody has a different color, as there was a choice. There were some bezel cups and a tiny little stone to go with said bezel cup. If you did the copper, then you are doing bally daisies on top. Okay, a solder pick is going to be helpful today also. A file and a burnisher to set the stone. So yes, we'll set the stone. You'll also need maybe some finishing pieces like that for your flex shaft, and we'll do some polishing. This is going to go really quick, so I'll focus a little bit today on polishing too. You know, that's something that we have a tendency to skip over. Oh, and also, sorry, a broach set if you happen to have one. Hold on a second, I just put a splinter in my hand. Hold on, sorry. Okay, I think it was a metal shard. Didn't feel good. So, a broach, I'll explain what a broach is here as we're working through, all right? So, the project, what did we do last week? Last week we made these bends to fit around the stone. I've already had some people reach out, not just one, but several people reach out and say, you know what? I made my legs a little short. Well, my question is, what do you have against short legs? There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. It's a design option. And frankly, I think that my legs are too long. So I'm actually going to snip those off because I actually want mine up here a bit shorter. Can you see that? So I want it all the way up here. So I'll end up either sawing or just snipping that off here in a little bit. Okay. But you do want the shape to sort of mimic the shape of your teardrop. Someone also suggested, you know what works really well to make that bend evenly is a bracelet bender. Does that too. The only thing is the shape of your bender needs to sort of be the shape of the stone that you're looking for. That's all. If you didn't have a bracelet bender, anything that is sort of round or half round, something like this, even the back end of a torch, that works too. You're just looking for a bend. No big deal. Okay. You should have soldered 4 pieces to get a 2 and 2, hammered the ends, and then making 4 as a total unit. You see that? So 2 crossed over to make the arch, another 2, and then the 4 soldered together. We then also soldered a piece in between the 4 to raise it a little bit. It's like a pillar in there, and then the tube in between. The tube also needed to make sure that you had enough space over the top for your bead. Okay, so that should have all happened. It should all be pickled. You should probably have filed the ends or sanded the ends to make sure that it's nice and soft. And so now what are we going to do? We're going to go ahead and saw this section of the tube out. You could have cut 2 small pieces of tubing to be soldered in this area. But the problem there is you got to make sure they line up in a straight line. And that's sort of problematic. So by doing it this way, you sort of guarantee that you have the tubes parallel to one another. Okay? So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move the camera a little bit, and okay. So I'm glad some of you guys figured out the bracelet bender and was able to use your tools. See, you have tools, use them. It's great. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put my my bench pin in here. So I forgot I was doing this, and I'm wearing shorts. So that's why there's a towel over my legs. Oops. You know, it is what it is. Sorry. All right, so we're gonna bend this up a little bit so you can see what's going on there. A little bit more. Okay. And lower my chair. I'm way too high. Okay, there it is. Okay. Little bit of wax if you have it, or cut lube on the saw blade, like so. Cut lube works great, and I'm just going to put this right in here. Can you see that? Okay. So, and I'm just going to saw the tube on the inside, just like so. Very easily, quickly, following the curve of my, oh ho ho, look at that. That was a mistake. Okay, look, my tube fell out. That means I didn't have it soldered on this side. Whoops. All right, so we're gonna have to stop there, line it up, and let's solder it. Okay. Lesson learned. I thought that was on. So we'll set it up here, and I'm going to use my Honeycomb solder block. That was definitely unintentional. Not fun. So I have a choice here. Let's talk it out. I have a choice. I can either take this tube out and do another one to ensure that it is straight, or try to put it just right in there and line it up. You know what? I have to think about this for half a second. What do I want to do? I'm going to cheat. Let's see if what I'm thinking will work. What if I take a wire and I put it in the tube and I run it across the other tube, and that will help me line it up. You see what I'm doing? Yep. See? So that will absolutely help me line it up, but my wire's not straight, so let me straighten out the wire. I can see a slight bend in it, so I'm just going to put it on a bench block, straighten it out just a little bit. I'm going to also trim that's a little long. So, you know, this is working things out as problems arise, and sometimes, you know, solder doesn't happen all the time. So you can use a pencil lead to do this, but I'm not worried about things being soldered together. I just need to solder this little part of the tube in. I don't have to worry about this gap at all because I'm not putting solder over there. Okay, and actually, see, I'm going to pull it out just a little bit. Do you see that? I pulled it out. Guarantees that I won't solder it. Okay, so I'm going to put that down. Easy solder. Right in there. And you know what, since I'm doing this anyway, I'm going to go ahead and solder the bezel cup right on top while I'm at it. Why not? Okay, so I'm going to pull this out, put some solder right on the back side there, and a little bit on the top. Okay, there we are. Let me make sure, I'm going to look over it, make sure that it's nice and even. It looks even from here. A couple more pins here. Make sure that everybody is staying where they need to stay. And okay, so this is what happens when you do it live. You never know how it's going to go. Okay, I'm going to pull out my tweezers, and I'm going to grab a bezel cup, and I can put a little bit of easy solder on the bottom. Again, if you're doing the copper kit, you're going to do the daisy spacer, and this is going to be my little embellishment right up on top, just like that. Okay, hope it doesn't fall over. Keep my my pick in hand just in case somebody decides to move. And let's see if I can get this done. So I'm going to heat the whole entire thing. That bezel cup's really, really, really small, so let's not overheat that. Notice I'm just sort of avoiding it and getting the base wires hot first. And I'm going to try to, oh, looks like it's going, just solder around it. And there it is. I saw that, and I saw that. Okay, see how I did that? I totally avoided that bezel cup because it's teeny weeny and it's like 28 or 30 gauge metal. It's going to melt, okay, if you put direct heat on it, because these torches, they're huge and you're burning at 2500 degrees. So let's see, I know I should be using my fire tweezers here. Okay, put those aside. Double checking. Yeah, I think I did it. But I guess I'm going to find out here in a second. Don't. Okay. Ha! It came out. This is good. Yep, it's on. Checking the bezel cup. It's on! Yay! We're going to go ahead and pickle it. So I'm going to throw it in the pickle here. My pickle pot's on the side. not through the magic of the internet. But so we need a minute for that to happen. So as always, thanks everybody for being here. It's always fun to see everyone. It's you know, this has been fun. I like it. Hope you guys are having fun too. You know, and thank you everyone for sharing the videos. I noticed that more people are sharing it and we really appreciate it because, you know, the only way we can do this is to get the word out. Oh, look, you can see my shirt. It says "We Rock Tucson." So we're planning on going back to Tucson this year. Fingers crossed it's going to happen. Don't know how I feel about going to a place with a couple million people all in the same place, but hey, we got to make plans and moving forward, right? Just to let you know, if you ordered Surprise Within, there's the silver package. There's a second package coming. Yeah, I was a little behind on that, and I got back ordered on some stuff, so I decided to go ahead and send it in two packages so I didn't have to make everybody wait and wonder when they were going to get their order. And besides, it's a surprise. You didn't know what was in it. So here comes, so the second package is just an envelope, okay? Very little happening in there, but you'll be getting that here in the next day or so. All right, let's check the pickle and see where our project is. All right, good. Good, good, good. Nice and pickled. There we are. So everybody looks clean, makes me happy. And we're gonna make an adjustment again, back onto the bench pin and move it over here. Oops. There we are. And you know what? I'll zoom it in just a little bit. Uh-oh. Okay, I won't be zooming it in just a little bit. What's funny is my keyboard is under here and the bench pin is now in the way of my keyboard. So we'll just go ahead and do it here. Okay. So I'm going to go in on the inside. Can you see that? And we're going to saw that inside tube, following the curve of the arch. Just very gently, discreetly, and oh, see, the other end I did not solder on, and it fell to the floor. We're gonna leave it there, okay? But can you see that? So the tube is now disguised on the inside. Now you need to cut the tubes off on the sides also. So same thing here. Try not to cut that square wire while you're doing this. Just gently saw it. Okay. Now, the other side. There we go. And take that off. Just a little bit like so. Okay, so this is where the broach comes in. If you are sawing onto your tube and you've created burrs, let's see, you see burrs on the inside. Oops, there we go. Focus. You can clean it by putting a broach inside of it, like so. Oops, like so, and twist it. This is a 5-sided file, more or less, and it is made for doing exactly this. The set comes in 6 pieces, I think it was. So you have different sizes depending on your tube size. You want to pick the one that is closest to it. And obviously you can see how small this is. Be careful, don't break it. That's my biggest fear. So if you don't have a broach and you need one, this is great for doing rivets and tubes. If you're cutting a lot of tubes, I did put the link up there on the Facebook description. If you're on Twitter, thanks for joining us on Twitter. I will post it afterwards. Okay, I'm sorry, Twitch. Oh, Andy just posted it on Twitch, but anyway, I'll also post it on YouTube later too. Okay, so there I am. I've cleaned the inside of my tubes. All right, so we're gonna move this right back to where we were, like so. Get rid of my bench pin, and I'm gonna do a little bit of filing because this is a little bit, I see it's a little bit sharp here. So I'm going to take out my needle file and file this just a little bit, and then I'll probably take, I'll probably take a little bit of sandpaper and take down any of those sharp edges. Just like so. And you know, the thing is, yes, I could have sawed this a little bit better, but I really didn't want to cut into my square wire. So sometimes you have to choose which way you want to go. And filing's okay. There was just a little bit too much. You see that? If I wanted to, I could have filed this down, but it was going to take like a year. And for everyone out there who's watching, it's like watching paint dry to sit here and watch me just file that. Okay, so I'm going to file the outside. Let's see about the inside. Just like so. Take some of that down. Ooh, nice. Felt good. And do this side too. The little half round file is nice for this to follow the curve, but I got it. Okay. And of course, I like a little bit of sanding just for that little bit of, you know, it just makes it a little bit more professional. At least for me anyway. You don't have to, but you might want to. Okay. There we are. All right. And that's done. So now what you want to do is, you know, before I put the stone in, I'm going to do a little bit of polishing, just because it's a little bit easier than to fight it with the stone in there. So let's set up for a little bit of polishing. I'm going to start with a brass wheel here. Oops. And get everything a little brightened up. It's nice. It's a really, really quick way of getting your metal brightened up. It's not a final polish, but it also gives it a nice satin finish if you just want a satin finish too. Okay. Okay, so you know something that is occurring to us, that if you're having connection issues, you might want to refresh, because like here, Andy just told me that we're getting some spotty weather coming in, and he had to refresh, but that absolutely fixed his connection or his resolution. So you might want to refresh here and there if every so often you have a resolution issue, and it just makes it rethink everything. And I still have a piece of metal in my hand. Okay. So I'm just hitting everything with my little brass brush, like so. Of course you can do this by hand, but hey, if you have a tool, it's a heck of a lot easier, right? So I'm just running this right down the line, like so, and cleaning it up. Oops, sorry. You see how it's so much brighter than where it hasn't been done? So I'm going to hit everything. Okay. Just like so. And also I'm going to hit in between too, because I just want everything cleaned up. Like so, right? And this brush is just really nice because it allows me to get right in between all those little crevices. And it just gives it that professional look. Okay. Oops, I missed one. Just like that. And so now what I'm going to do, now that I've got all the white off, I'm going to check a little bit and see if I have any scratches or marring, and I do, just a little bit. So what's nice is you can just take out some sandpaper and sand it off. Just like so. Oh yeah, I got that right off. Okay. So anything that I have any burrs, any marring, I'm just going to stick this right in there and try to get some of that out. If it's a little bit more, you can also take out a silicone wheel like this here. I have a little bit of solder hitting that area there. If I can't get this off like this, I'll take it to a head like one of these more abrasive silicone wheels. It'll get it there faster. But it seems to be coming off pretty quickly here for me. Okay, so like I have this tiny little spot. Do you see that in between the wires? I'm definitely going to have to hit that with something else because this is not going to be enough. And all right, I'm going to switch out. I'm going to switch to this one. So does anybody have any questions so far? You're following along? It's all making sense? Maybe? Remember, Andy's watching for all your comments and he's relaying them to me if I don't catch them. Okay, so here I'm going to go right in that spot because this is a knife wheel, so it's nice and can get into nice little tight spaces. Oh yeah. That's good. Doing it gently, slowly, and again a little anal retentive, but it works for me. Because this piece, believe it or not, I'm keeping this one for myself, and I'm going to wear this one. Shocking but true. If you know me, you know that I don't wear all that much jewelry, except when I'm online doing lives. Heck, look, I forgot to wear a necklace today, but that's okay. Okay, there we are. Yep, I got all the little pieces. So here I see, I don't like this edge here. It's a little square for me, so it's not the same as the other ones. I'm going to round it up by sanding. It's just a little tiny bit. Takes it down. Okay. Makes it sort of even. Not all these little legs are going to be perfect, but that's okay for me. If you want them to be perfect, just sit here and work on it. Right? Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take out another brass brush. I'm going to clean the inside of the bezel cup because my stone is clear and it will give it a nice reflective value because it's clear. So I'm going to switch out once again. Actually, I'm not even going to switch out. I have this nice little brass end brush. I'm just going to put in here and clean it like so. See? So it's nice and bright now, right? Let's see if you can see that. Yep. So it's got a mirror shine on the inside. Let's see. Okay, so I have a little bit more solder on that outside there. So I'm going to clean that up just another moment. And again, I'm doing this slowly because I don't want to create any gouges. And I'm just being really aware of what I'm doing here. See? I was a little messy on the solder over here because this is the side that I had to solder twice. So just little strokes, a little bit at a time to get that nice and clean. Just like so. Okay, done. All right, so everything's pretty much cleaned up. I do think I'm going to cut this off or cut it down. And hold on, let's cut that real quick. Ouch. I think I'm going to use a saw. It's a debate. Yeah, I'm just going to saw it off. Probably better if I put this on a bench pin. We'll do that again with the bench pin. But I like my legs a little shorter. Okay, if you cut your legs too short, sorry, you're gonna have to start over. But what's too short, right? I'm 5'4", what do you want? Okay, so do this again, like so, and we're going to saw it. Let's see. Trying to figure out where I want to hang this off or not. There we go. So you want to find a spot on the bench pin that is comfortable and good for you. It could be anywhere. Don't fight your saw blade. If it fights you, just back off and let the blade do its work. Make sure that you use the entire length of the blade, not little strokes. Wow, we're fighting today. Okay, golly. Hello? Okay, I'm gonna bend this off. See that? Because I'm mostly through, so I just bent it off. And it's just gonna break right off here. Cheating. Cheating, just a little. Alright. So then we'll do the other side. Let's see. Right about there. I'm eyeballing it today. I know. Living on the wild side here. Golly. Long strokes. Nice long strokes. Don't fight it. Notice every time it fights me, I back off and I let it go. Right? Don't keep fighting it. You'll break the saw blade. Just do it gently, slowly. And I think that went through. Well, the first one went through. Let's go through the second one. Okay, so what's going to happen here, actually, by sawing this off, the legs are unsoldered, but I'm good with that. This is a really heavy piece of wire, so it's stable. If you want to solder it back on, so be it. Okay, set that aside. There we are. Okay, I think it's good. Again, need to file the ends, make it nice. Let's get rid of this and turn our camera. Okay, so you can file it, you can sand it, whatever warms your heart, whatever is easiest for you. But you do want to take off all those burrs and all of those edges. Okay? Alright. So notice I'm always filing, when I file ends, I always file at a slight angle, like so, to create a little bit of a bevel and not just straight onto it. Alright. Done. Okay, so next up, you can do this in whichever steps that you want. You can go ahead and set this bezel now, or you can set it after the bead. I'm going to go ahead and set it right now, and we'll put this in, not upside down, just like so. Now remember, these gemstones are cut by hand, and the bezel cups are always die struck. Sometimes they're not exact, so I'm just helping it. I'm pushing it in with my hands. Okay, and then you're going to take out your burnisher. Okay, so now that I got rid of my bench pin, I can actually zoom in. Hold on, I'm going to zoom in for you. Okay. There we are. And I like to work on my mouse pad. So you're going to take the back end of the burnisher, the round end, and you're just going to push it, the bezel, right to the stone. And you want to do it in the cardinal points first, and that sort of sets it in place. So top, bottom, left, right, like so, and then go around all the other points and just start moving it in, just like that. You see that? I'm just sort of stroking it in. You know, burnishing is basically polishing metal, more or less. You're just pushing it down. You're pushing the metal down. Okay? And it does create a nice polish to the surface of the metal. And so I'm just bringing it over. Do you notice I'm just sort of stroking it to ask? It's teeny weeny. It's so hard, right, to show. So what I'm doing is I'm asking the metal to come closer, closer, closer to my stone, and thereby setting it. Okay. And I'm doing everything I can not to mush something else while I'm at it. So another thing I'm going to do, again, it's so small, is I'm just going to brush it, burnish it like that with some pressure all the way around the top of the bezel to get it to absolutely hug that stone. Okay, just like so. And I'm just turning it all the way around. Yep. Can you see that? Pretty happy. Alright. So now we're going to set the other stone in. So with your wire, make sure you straighten it nicely. I'm going to put it into the hole here. Come across and insert it. Oh, see, I tried this earlier, it worked just fine. So I know it's the right wire, but all of a sudden, there it goes. Okay, so insert it into the bead, go all the way across to the other tube, like so, and push it there. See, so there's your pendant. So you also received some some chain inside of your kits, and so this is where we're going to attach the chain. Totally forgot to grab my chain. So let's see where I have it. Sorry. What was I thinking? Here we go. So if you're following along but didn't get a kit, there are still kits available. So do reach out, and it's no longer a surprise for you, but it was a surprise for everybody. So I'm hoping that everybody who received a kit or who had purchased a kit are loving this. I don't know why, but I personally love this project. I thought it was a great design, and that's why I'm keeping one for myself. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a wrapped loop, and this is how I'm attaching my chain. So with my round nose, I'm turning all the way to make this T. Do you see that? And I'm going to take the end of my chain, insert it, oops, there we are, and then I'm going to hold it like so across that loop, take out my chain nose, and wrap it around. And this is how you're going to just simply secure your pendant to the chain without having to solder it. If you were to do this with jump rings, then you probably want to solder the jump rings, but with the big butane torches that we have, you will run the risk of harming the stones. So that's why I do it this way. So I'm sort of sidestepping a process, but it works really nicely. So I'm not going to claim that I'm cheating. I'm claiming that I'm doing it a different way. I'm not going to say it's even smarter. It's just a different way. Okay, so you see, it's attached, right? There we go. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to make a loop, but this time I'm going to pull it really close to the end of the tube there. See how I'm doing that? Okay, I'm just pulling it closer, closer, closer. So I have this loop. Hopefully you can see that. And then add the chain on. Gently. And again, same thing. I'm going to hold this across the loop, and I'm going to carefully grab that extra wire, not my chain, and I'm going to wrap it around that base wire. Let's see, there we go. Pulling it pretty tight and pretty snug. Okay, there we are. Get your nice little nippers, snip it really snug. If you have an excess wire, just go ahead and tuck it in like that. The end of the wire, just tuck it in, and voila. Wait for it. There we go. Okay. And there's your pendant. You'll cut this however you want to cut it to the length that you need, and then you'll just attach the jump rings to the end with your clasp. So I'm excited. I think this is really cool. I've been looking at this or I've been thinking about this project for a while, and it's been sitting in my sketchbook for a while. So I'm pretty excited to finally have it done and have people actually making it. So it's cool. All right, any questions out there? So the all the projects, I'm sorry. So if you want to get into this project and you didn't order it, you can still do it. The tools, the list is in the description of the of Q-Talk Live, and I'll post it on Twitch and YouTube later. But that's pretty much it. What do you think? Anybody? Feedback? Okay. No, that's it? All right, so I feel like it's crickets out there. Andy, how we doing? Is Andy still out there? Okay, great. Just double checking. Anyway, okay, so yeah, that was a really quick one today. I'm pretty happy. So, yep, free Zoom on Friday. Reach out to us directly if you want to be a part of that. That is the Nexus bracelet. And the loopy bracelet for Minimal Metal Monday, all you need is 18 gauge wire to do this one. And then next week starts the new step-by-step surprise, and it's called Within. So if you want to get into that, do go ahead and order that, and we will get that out to you. Where can you get extra stones from? You can reach out to me. I do have, let's see, I put it away already. I do have chrysoprase, green amethyst, pink amethyst, black rutilated quartz. I might even have some smoky quartz. I do know I have some onyx in there. So if you're interested in some extra stones, reach out to me. If you're looking for the teardrop, I do have some of the rose cut cabochons too. I have peridot, light amethyst, and garnet still running around and available. So just reach out to me and I'll create a special listing for you if you're interested. So the question is, which attachments do I think everyone should have for the flex shaft? You do want a muslin wheel for polishing. Actually, you know, I'm going to take another step and polish this a little bit better. You do want some sort of abrasive something. Like I have these, what do we call these? Sanding barrels for sanding. They're pretty abrasive. They don't come very fine, so you just have to be careful using those. That's what I like to keep around, and I also like to keep around some of the 3M bristle brushes is always nice. But the one thing that I do a lot on my flex shaft is I do a lot of polishing with it. And someone had asked me earlier, I don't know when, like over the weekend or something on Twitch, why I don't have a buffing wheel, like one of those big buffing wheels. A lot of it's about footprint. Initially, when I first started doing this, it was about price, because back then you couldn't buy a small one. It was a big one. So footprint was definitely a problem, but then the price was like $300 and all it does is polish. I'm like, yeah, I'm not willing to invest $300 into just polishing. So this was a really great way to get to polishing quickly and easily. So here with the Eurolustre polish and my muslin wheel, I can get a professional polish out of this, you know, just like so. So if you're looking for a finishing kit, we do have it. I did post the link to that. So, you know, it gets you all these little parts, these little bits and pieces, so that you didn't have to invest in a huge amount. Because usually when you buy these things, you have to buy them by the dozen or so. And, you know, I haven't even been through a dozen of this stuff. This I've been through a dozen of, but a lot of these parts and pieces, they last a pretty long time depending on how much of a user you are. So here I'm just polishing all the little pieces, and then when we're done here, because you see how it got really dark, that's from the polish. It's just schmutz, okay? And so I'll clean that up with some Dawn liquid soap and a brush when we're done here. I'll post a picture of this later. Yes, there were more. The question was, did you get extra daisy spacers with your kit? Yes, you did. It was more than one because I had a feeling if you didn't throw them on the ground, you might melt them like I do. So yes, there was a couple extras. Okay, there we are. So I'm just making sure that all the metal has been hit so that it's polished, and you won't be able to see this until after I wash it. Ooh. And this is why I should have polished earlier. I'm sorry, what, Andy? Okay, so there we are. Again, if you are doing the polish, you just need to wash that off. If you have an ultrasonic cleaner, you'll want to make sure that you don't put you don't put stones in ultrasonic cleaners, so you want to make sure that you clean that up first if you use an ultrasonic cleaner before you put the stones on. Okay, so that's it. I know it looks dirty, so do my hands, but again, Dawn liquid soap and a brush will fix that, and I will post a picture later. Okay, I think that's it for today. Anything else? Nope. We have covered polishing. If you have any questions, as always, just reach out to me. It's not a big deal, and I will get you answered. You know, and every so often, I might need to zoom you to see what you're looking at, and that's okay too, and we'll get that fixed up. So thanks for following along. Thanks for hanging out with me on this hump day. Glad it's the middle of the week. Looking forward to the weekend already, and you know, having some fun. So everybody have a great rest of the week, and we will see you on Friday. If not, I'll see you on Monday for Minimal Metal Monday. Have a good one.